Hi, I'm Niharika Bhasin Khan and you're watching Bollywood Hungama.
Well, it's a huge honor to have a national award-winning costume designer with us, Niharika Bhasin Khan. Her next film is the eagerly awaited Fan, for which Shah Rukh Khan's Gaurav avatar, especially personally, I think it's very, very quirky and in terms of the dresses. Niharika, huge pleasure to have you back.
Thank you so much.
On Bollywood Hungama. We met in Sri Lanka, now we're meeting.
I know,
I'm
happy to see you.
There's quite a bit of a departure.
Yeah.
We are talking about this entire look of Gaurav especially because Shah Rukh's superstar version is something that we've seen him before. But the entire Gaurav persona is something that a lot of North Indians are literally flipping over it. So I believe Shah Rukh has given his inputs as well while you guys were.
Of course. Every actor gives you his or her input on the character they're playing, because if they don't get into the skin of the character, they're not going to, according to me, they're not going to be able to explain themselves. You know, if you're not comfortable with what you're wearing and how you're looking, you're not going to be able to be in that character. So hopefully we could put him into Gaurav, and since he knows Delhi and Manish Sharma knows Delhi as well as it could, we had both their input that I'm not a Delhi person, so I had to have that input to create what we could for Gaurav.
Why Gaurav becomes interesting is that he's fitting loosely fitted clothes which are not like what a superstar will wear, the jeans which are like a superstar will cringe at, and the shirts, all sorts of printed shirts and colors which are like really disjointed in terms of with the jeans. How difficult or easy was it for you to convince Shah Rukh that this is what is there for you for Gaurav? Actually,
we had a deal. If I left him where Aryan was concerned, he'd leave me where Gaurav was concerned.
Okay.
So we made a good deal.
Okay.
I think when we had such a different distinction between the two characters, a Gaurav and an Aryan, and when I wanted to create an Aryan, I had a different sense in my head of creating a superstar. I wanted to do fashions of the time and everything together and keep that in keeping with that. Shah Rukh as Aryan was not comfortable with that because he knows a superstar. I don't, let's be honest. He knows. So my deal was, if he allowed me to do whatever I wanted with Gaurav, I would then take his considerations into Aryan. So I think it worked really well for us, where Gaurav was mine completely. There were times when he'd come and say stuff like, oh my God, that's really ugly. And I'm like, it's supposed to be. And with Aryan, there was a lot more discussion because he knows who Aryan is as a superstar. With the color palettes were the same, were Shah Rukh color palettes of, darker colors, blacks. I did throw in navy blue and I did throw in like olives as colors, but we kept it in that black vein, which Shah Rukh likes, blacks and grays. But with Gaurav, I could not do that. He's a Delhi boy, we're bringing him out, we're showing, the difference between that. And there were things, like you said, are really ugly in comparative eye of a superstar.
Correct.
So we did, and we had that really good deal where he really let me free rein on Gaurav, anything I wanted to do.
Gaurav's character, it becomes, I think, all the more challenging as well because now you had the VFX considerations in mind, you had the makeup considerations in mind as well, because we really don't know how Gaurav actually looked like while it was being shot, because that is very interesting. It looks like Shah Rukh, but it still doesn't look like Shah Rukh. Now, how much of a challenge was that for you? Because you're not having like physicality of a star. You're also told that you have to imagine certain things.
We have to imagine a lot of things, and we did do a lot to get to the Gaurav point. Actually, when we had thought about it and when we got the hairdressers in and everything, Manish and my idea was to have Gaurav with curly hair. That didn't work for us at all. We had done our they had done it with VFX and with the prosthetics and everything, and it just didn't work out right. So then we had to change that hair to the hair he has right now.
Correct.
So there were lots of things that we had to try to get to the point of where we had to, the loose clothes, because he needs to look smaller than Aryan looks. There is that physical distinction between the two that they had to get. I've not really worked in VFX before. And for me, it was super challenging and exciting to learn the new things and to sit with Harry, who's the VFX person, and to
Chilies,
understand from Red Chilies, and to understand the differences between what they're trying to communicate and what we're trying to do. So yeah, supremely exciting. There was a time when we did shoot a section of the film and didn't turn out the way we wanted to, and we changed the clothes and we changed who he was, and you know, to get to the right point. And I think we have reached, I think, a correct point in the film where we know that that worked for us.